Hi, everyone. I'm aLex. I'm so happy to join you here today and weekly with Sun and Moon Yoga Studio here through YouTube, and here to spend some time in quiet in the path of meditation and micro movement. All you'll need today is just a comfortable space. You can do this. The movement part today would be good to do seated. If you need to be laying down, that's fine too. But it's really best seated. And then you could lie down for the meditation part. You can do um, these practices standing as well. So your choice. Your choice. Yeah, as I'm seeing in my own screen, there might be movement of the cat in the window in the next room as he watches the wildlife out there. So thank you so much for joining me. Some of you joined from Europe. Sometimes Linda's been joining us, or afterward from Hawaii. So this is the beauty of this age, when we can come together through technology and really be in close proximity with each other. So I'm thinking about, as usual, a number of things from my experiential week. Bring me thoughts. One of them, actually, it was at Jackie's meditation, could have been 2 weeks ago, on Friday mornings, in a chat and a little bit of a community discussions afterwards. One person brought up the game, the New York Times game, that is, oh, good. Thank you, Hannah. Thanks for letting me know that sound is good. One of the New York Times games called Connections, which I've just started playing recently, and how there's a feature there. It's a grid of 16 words, and you need to find 4 sets that each set has a commonality. And one feature of the game is that you can press a button to shuffle them, so the grid changes, the ones that are next to each other. And how our meditation practice is so similar to, in a sense, that when we sit quietly, things can reorder the way we arrange things. When we allow more space, it feels to me like there's a lot more space around something, allow more time, that it helps things to rearrange, and the associations and relationships can become more clear. This morning, I was thinking of poems that speak of the soft animal body, Mary Oliver's famous poem, Wild Geese, The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. And last night, and often, there's a breathing practice I do, which I'll share with you today, that involves a very different way of arranging our belly, our musculature. And I invite you to do so softly. I invite us today, as we go into the movement part and all of this, to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Let yourself be relaxed in our practice. Things will arise as we get quiet. Things arise that might startle us, distract us, disturb us, delight us. There could be things that are on the positive end of that spectrum. So, and again, I'll be inviting us to drop back to the one, the being, the self that's observing all of this. That actually, when we focus on something and give it our full presence, that prior self, that always present, boundless prior self, actually becomes more present to us. We see that it's always there, and we get to experience it, to know it, to embody it more, to feel that it is our embodiment. Okay, so let's arrive. Again, make sure You've got what you need to be comfortable. So I turned off my space heater. It'll get chilly as I sit quietly. So arriving, like when you pull into your driveway with your car, or you get to your subway stop, it helps to come toward stillness. It doesn't have to be absolute stillness yet. For the meditation part, I'll be encouraging that. And especially noticing the parts of your body touching whatever is underneath you. For me, it's a couch, a blanket on that couch, a cushion underneath the back of my pelvis. And sense how you're sensing, how layers, when you focus lightly there to the juxtaposition, the touch of fabric on your body, both on maybe your clothing and then the fabric that's underneath you. That could be a chair or a couch, a floor, a rug. Sense the way that you're sensing it, and that you are aware and that you can feel, even if you, of course we know under my jeans is my skin, but imagine that you're just sensing through the feeling nervous system apparatus, skin, and that there's layers of the skin and that go to the bone and inward till we get to the very marrow of our bones. Another way of sensing the center of us, the ground of us, the deepest part of our bones. And similarly, you can move outward from whatever surface you're sitting or lying on or standing on to that cloth, that texture, that hardness or softness. Edges, these edges that are tangent next to each other, touching, relating, receiving warmth, and I think warmth, heat somehow travels. I don't know the physics of that. It travels. And begin to notice, you might already have chimed into it, your breathing. You can always come back to this ground, to sensing our weight, our physical presence right here on this spot of real estate. And breath, what is it you notice about your breath? Perhaps the flow, the feel of the flow, the spaces that seem to get bigger and smaller inside the body. As you relax your belly, turn your attention to your nostrils. To sense the touch of breath there. If this is brand new to you, most of you, I think, are familiar with this. Sensing just at the base of the nostrils, but maybe even inside. You can even deepen the breath a little in a way to feel it more if it's not palpable. And we can feel Perhaps one nostril is different from the other. The air coming in is likely cooler than the air going out. If you're in a very warm space, that might not feel quite as true. And begin now, drop the attention back into the belly and open to listening to sound as you feel in the belly. Imagine we're listening not just with our ears, but we're sensing all the way deep into the belly. And likely, as you feel the breath in the belly, if you're very relaxed, likely when you're breathing in, it'll feel like the breath is opening the belly. When you're breathing out, it might feel like the belly is deflating. See if that's true for you. It might or might not be. And imagine as we're sensing the belly and simultaneously being open to sound and listening. And we're listening in this sensory way, this tactile way, as well as the audible way. Envision that we're feeling as much of the belly, so the whole lower abdomen and pelvic floor, as much of this sphere as possible. The lower back at the top, bordered by our diaphragm muscle. Relax the jaw, and I'll slide us into this practice, this particular breathing practice, step by step. So allow, as you breathe in, allow the belly, and even join in with the opening of the belly a little more to let it expand. That whole lower abdomen area, let it expand as we breathe in. And just let it be whatever it is as you breathe out. But feel and watch and sense, be present for that movement, what you might have assumed, but verify what's actually happening there. Sounds from behind me. Yes, the litter boxes are in this room. They are. And now allow there to be a little pause at the top of the inhale. It can be just short, very short, and then exhale naturally. A little pause there. And on the following exhale, imagine first that what we're trying to do is let the belly stay full, stay soft and full. Let the shape of it not deflate. This is quite different if you've never played with this. It's something quite different than we might be used to. So be gentle, be soft. And it's as if might be the diaphragm has to work differently. It will feel different how it feels on the inhale when the lungs fill and the diaphragm presses downward. And then in a sense, we need to shift a little to as we're exhaling, we keep the diaphragm down a little bit. It's kind of how I feel this happens. This breath is called an unshu breath. Just do this a few times. let it go. Relax in your jaw, relax in your belly. Especially if this is new to you, just doing a few iterations, a few repetitions is plenty. It's asking a lot of our nervous system. So you might just notice what you feel at this moment. We'll take another set of this, just maybe 3 repetitions. So go ahead and let's start another set. Breathe in naturally. Feel the expansion of the belly. A little pause. And then as you exhale, softly keep the belly expanding. There's almost like a feel of something needs to go down my shoulders. And then pause a moment and inhale. Pause, and a couple more times that exhale with the belly staying open, soft, expanded. Wonderful. And now just relax. Touch into, again, the ground, the sense of gravity, keeping us right here. Being still enough to sense the sounds around us. Sensing the feel of the breath now. It might have changed. Something might be different about how you're receiving this each fresh new breath. And we'll slide right into our meditation, about a 8-minute meditation. After the bell, which will formally start the meditation, I'm going to read a poem called The Verge. Kind of flirts with edges of the unexpected, the unknown. Perhaps once again revisiting the feel at the base of you, and maybe by now you choose to lie down or just alter your sitting position a little bit. And then settle towards stillness. Sensing breath. Breath is with us here. Sensing sound and space around that we're not separate from. And open to lightly listening to this poem by Annie Lighthart, The Verge. Reason is a fine thing, but remember, there are other ways to live, by instinct or passion, or even maybe by revelation. Try it. Come around to the verge, that place of about to open, near where we comprehend and laugh and see. Why shouldn't something marvelous happen to you? Take even an occasion like this. A man reading at night looked up at the window to find a moose looking in. Interested and unafraid, with quiet, dark eyes. He reports he has never been the same. He finds the ungainly and miraculous everywhere. He said it started the next night in the empty window as he watched his reflection looking right back through. He said he saw his own beauty, how even in his same old face, the quiet eyes were curious and ready to be true. These elements of night, something as unexpected as a moose in a window, curiosity, possibility that something marvelous could happen, of beauty. These are helpful friends on the path of stillness and allowing ourselves to meet this verge that is ever present, especially as we sit quietly. And over as we feel our body so perhaps poignantly in our meditation, you may feel permission to relax your shoulders, to relax the belly a bit more. To soften around the eyes, across the forehead. And even as I mention these specific places and landmarks and possible sensations, from time to time, drop everything and allow just the pure sensing, pure awareness. That is the presence, always here. Never forsaking us. And for whenever we seem to stray from our intent of being present, of stillness, of this easeful openness, when we seem to stray like that, can we celebrate that moment because it's a it's a little or big awakening that we had just separated ourselves off and then we reunited with what's already always here. A few more breaths together in this stillness. Let's let ourselves linger in this state that we feel often after sitting quietly and especially together. You might even put a few words together in your own mind or even out loud in your space of what you're experiencing right here. Like soft animal body, or maybe agitated, just found quiet. Your own little combination of descriptive words, haiku like, perhaps poet like, doesn't have to make sense to anyone, but to accurately, you could even refine them to be, okay, that's not quite true. Relaxed shoulders, pinching hips, open sky mind. Contradictory things could be true. He said he saw his own beauty and how even in his same old face, the quiet eyes were curious and ready to be true. If you like this poem, you'll have access to it. I'll put it in the description of this video on YouTube. We can slowly begin to move a little, be ready for the next thing in our day. You're certainly welcome to sit for longer and to mark the conclusion of our practice. You might join me in a bow or hands on your heart, or however feels right to you. And I'm so grateful for your joining in this community of practice in real time here together with me, and for the feedback in the chat. Thank you, Hannah. And those of you who join later. A bow can be a little gratitude practice, a little honoring, reverence. So if the practice of the unshu breathing appealed to you, you can try it. Try it in small doses, and that's the way it'll get easier and easier for you. Um, and meet me back here anytime. There's recordings, and I'm here usually always on 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings while we're in session, the studio. And next week, I'll be traveling, so I'm not sure. I often go ahead and meet here even when I'm traveling, but I might pre-record, so check the videos. There's a few different sets you could check. It might have to be a video under the videos tab instead of the live tab. Um, or I might see if my friend Christine Clardy or someone else can jump in for me and be with you next week. Ciao, ciao. And again, thank you so much. It means a world to me. This cannot be done alone. And speaking of that, here's my another teacher of the soft animal body and how to relax well. Ciao, ciao.